Hey YouTube, it's Rob again, and I wanted to show you some more stuff about our planet that nobody's ever told us. Um, this is I showed some of this before, but this is India, of course, and then here's Greenland, and basically this is the North Pole. I've darkened some areas and stuff, hopefully to help make things stand out, so we can see some realignments and reoccurring patterns match up. And what I'm going to show you is going to kind of kind of show you exactly how much of this planet is actually made by the same um, thing, a single event. And okay, so here we go. There's the North Pole area. This is I think part of Russia or China or something like that. One of those. But it's just the large continent. Actually, it's right up over here, uh, over on the other side. So, anyways, check this out. I want to show you how these indentations are almost guaranteed to be related to this. Everyone around the planet, on every continent, every time you see anything that remotely looks like this, it's going to be related to it because it's one event that created the planet. So it kind of makes it easy to track things down when you got one thing that made everything. So let me show you what I mean here. Okay, actually, let's take a closer look here at what we got. Sometimes what I'm seeing here, it reminds me of like a storm or a hurricane, the eye or something like that. Like it's starting to grow and turn and rotate. And let's see, I'm sure this has something to do with it. See, even that. This is trippy because I was gonna make a game up about finding the pair of sunglasses all over the planet so that people could see how many reoccurring patterns there are. And you wouldn't believe how many pairs of these sunglass looking things there are, and some are big because it actually shows that the Earth is increased in size, and you could see from when it goes from small to big. But here you can look, you can even see things lining up here, especially this part right here. It gets in there, and okay, so you can see that fits in there, of course. And then, what proves it is that you'll see other things. You'll see the markings here line up in other areas while this lines up. So it kind of gives it credit, street cred, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. And then what's weird is you can see how this fits kind of the angle of India right through here. By the way, that's how I even found this, how I even noticed this whole thing was I just simply happened to notice the angle of the Hawaiian Islands seemed very similar to our coastline and our land features inside our continent. And from that moment, it's been on like this. I've been tracking down these things and figuring out, and this is what I'm telling you. This is what I found out. There was a whirlpool, a vortex that created the entire planet. And this is what I think is happening. And basically I got my ideas because of what the electric universe theory says. So a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, it came from them, but I'm kind of like adding on to it a little bit. And I'm not a scientist, and I don't have nothing to lose, so I can throw this out there, and I don't have to worry about my reputation. But you know what? I have a feeling I'm right. Okay, so then we have this one. This is right here. It's amazing. It's amazing because you can actually see the rotation that's going on here. This is this is our this is the past of our planet. Um, this is I mean right here I'm showing you the rotation that that created this dimple here. basically this must have been one. It must have been the pole. It must have been one of the, I think pretty much everywhere on the planet used to be the North Pole at one time, because basically it looks like it came out of there. And oh yeah, what I wanted to say was that I'm gonna throw what I want to throw out there, because I really got nothing to lose. But based on what I've learned from the electric universe, I'm gonna say that this vortex created this planet, and it was probably a vortex that was on like a brown dwarf star, like a life producing star, like a brown dwarf. And I'm gonna say that it probably was in one of the polar areas, and it was Birkeland currents, and it probably had a hexagon shape to it, just like Saturn has right now. And I would not doubt that below that hexagon storm on Saturn is a small planet being formed right below it. And I'm pretty sure that this is what is happening. This is how our planet was made. And if NASA was smart enough, they would send a probe or something into that hexagon shape pattern on Saturn, and might possibly actually catch a planet being created. Now, wouldn't that be something scientific to do? You know, and I believe that there's something to that. So that hexagon, what happens? Well, after that storm is over, does it spit the planet out like Velikovsky said happened to Venus? That's what I'm wondering. If that's what's going to happen soon, because there's a lot of changes going on around us. So, anyways, that's just what I'm thinking at right now, and I tend to think that I kind of get I get a vibe off of certain things, and I think there's a strong vibe off of what I just said that might actually be pretty true. Okay, so and then there's that. Look at it. Here it is, swirling. This is what you see like in a galaxy rotating, right? You see it spin and cause shapes like this. Well, probably what causes a ring around Saturn, for all we know. And then there used to be spots on Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? There's a connection here, a connection that NASA should have caught, but either didn't or just didn't want you to know about it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell with those guys. They really seem, I'll be honest, they seem pretty shady to me. I mean, the way they drop feeds when something electromagnetic shows up, the way they chase after things that they created in their head and act as if they're real. I mean, all that kind of stuff just throws a red flag up for me. I'm sure for the average person though, they see the pretty pictures, the cartoon drawings of planets. I remember when we used to get pictures of planets, they were pretty cool looking when they're actual pictures. Now we get cartoon versions of those pictures for, well, I can only guess for reason of manipulation. I mean, why else would you want to draw over a picture of something, you know? Especially if it's scientific, like, I kind of I want to see the actual picture. I want to judge for myself what I think's going on there. I don't want to see cartoon colors over it. I mean, that's dumb, and it's insulting too. It's demeaning and insulting to us as people, I would think. I mean, if you're interested in knowing the truth about stuff, why would you want somebody to draw you pictures of what they see? I mean, come on. Something's just not right. And people are just letting it happen too. That something's just really weird. I mean, like I've been trying to tell people I know about my theory here, and they just ain't having none of it. They don't believe me, and they don't fucking really care really much. So it's like I can't tell if it's because of that's the way they really are, or if something's interfering with their thought processes. Something doesn't seem right. I shouldn't be the only one that's seeing this. Okay, and so let's continue before I go off more. Right now, by the way, I'm kind of like I'm figuring this out as we go. This isn't really prepared. I don't sit here and try to figure out something and then go, okay, I'm going to show them this. A lot of the times I'm figuring this out as we're looking at it. So bear with me a little bit. I mean, it's kind of amazing if you think about it. You're kind of, in a way, we're I'm kind of sharing this with you. Like, I'm not trying to figure the whole thing out and then come out and then dazzle everybody with what I figured out. I mean, I'm kind of letting you in on the whole thing. I mean, you can see what I'm doing as I go. And we already figured this out in the other video here. There's Alaska, of course. And you can see that there's definitely a recurring pattern here with this thing. Like I said, every time you see some kind of indentation in anything, it's going to be it has to be related to this. It actually is a small world after all. I mean, it's not. I mean, all these years we've all thought that all this was just unique. Every piece, plate tectonics is based on the fact that every piece of Earth is pretty much unique. There's no copies, duplicates. You got basically a giant ball that's got these cracks in it, and then the cracks are just moving and going underneath one another. I guess the plates, and so that would mean that everything would be unique. But here I am showing you that everything is actually related to one incident, and actually it had to start out small and grew big. So you can imagine this dot right here might actually be the beginning of the whole thing. Who knows? It is weird. I see these dots everywhere. They either turn into volcanoes or a lake, and a lot of them are about the same diameter. Some of them are exactly the same shape, and I'm telling you, it's because they all sat on top of each other, making like a I guess like a hole, like a long deep hole. And there's other things I've noticed too that I haven't even brought up yet about the ocean bottom. I believe there's a lot of cool stuff I can hit on once I get through this. There's a lot here I can figure out, and when I figure all this out, it doesn't end there. I'm going to do the same thing with the afterlife, because there's another thing that people seem to be a little nervous about figuring out, and I don't think we should be. I think it's actually it's our right to figure it out, and I think we should if we were smart. And I think it is true. Actually, I'm almost positive there is an afterlife, and it's in the electromagnetic fields, of course, because there really isn't much else everything's electromagnetic related. Nothing's related to black holes or dark energy and dark matter. And to run around and pretend that those are somehow factual is actually hurting yourself. You're limiting yourself from actually understanding reality by using make-believe stuff to fill in the blanks. And that's just the word. This is like the wrong way to go about it if you ever want to know how things really work. And that's why I keep saying, um, they'll never know how this planet works as long as they keep believing in plate tectonics. So it's already been 104 years, and we haven't figured out much. So is it going to be another 104 years before we decide, hey, maybe it's not this after all, maybe something else is happening? Well, here's your chance to find that something else, and I'm showing it to you. And there's, not one person has even tried to debate me on this. And it's not like I'm looking for an argument or a fight. I'm looking to prove that this is true. And the only way I can see doing that is if having a geologist show up on one of these and start telling me why I'm wrong and what's wrong, and all that. And I would love for that, because then I can turn around and I can show you what's right. So thanks for watching. I'm sure I had more here to show you, but I can, these videos start to get long and stuff, and so anyways, thanks for watching.